All right. Hello, everyone. I think everybody here knows who I am, but just for the sake of recording purposes, my name is Shelby, and I'm a bronze leader here at Q, and I am excited to come and talk to you guys a little bit about um, action and accountability. These are two things that were vital for the growth of my business. I just thought I would share them with you guys. As most of you guys know, I do a Sunday planning call. And the reason I did that is because I guess, had a passion for helping people the way that I helped myself. And so I'm not going to be talking about Sunday planning, but it's a reason why I do it. It's to just kind of set myself up for success. So we don't move forward without these two things. There is no blaming someone else for our speed in which we succeed or don't succeed. Um, a lot of times that's not even our fault either. Sometimes it's just the way it is. But I notice a lot in this industry, and this is my first network marketing gig. However, um, being here for 16 months now, I've just noticed that the stigma around it is that people want to find fast success. And if they don't find fast success, they get discouraged. They fall back. They stop trying because they're not seeing as quickly of the results that they believe they should be seeing based on everybody else's results. And so it's all a comparison game. Um, you know, we have to stop comparing ourselves to others first. But action and accountability are huge in this respect because you have to take personal responsibility for your actions and personal responsibility for your business. You guys know I love Maxwell Daily Reader. So I found this really short one that I wanted to share with you guys. Thinking is easy, acting is difficult, and to put one's thoughts into action is the most difficult thing in the world. Maybe that's why so few people follow through and act on their goals. According to Greg Harris, two-thirds of people surveyed, 67 of 100, set goals for themselves. But of those 67, only 10 have made realistic plans to reach their goals, and out of those 10, only two follow through and actually make them happen. The trick to acting on your goals is getting started. President Franklin D. Roosevelt remarked, "It is common sense to take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, just try something." That's good advice. You don't have to be perfect. You don't need to make progress. Or, as the Chinese proverb asserts, be not afraid of going slowly, be only afraid of standing still. So, we're standing still if we're not doing anything, right? If we're not doing anything for our business, if we're not, um, you know, taking the necessary actions, we're not going to see those results. I want you to remember back to last month, and I want you to think about the actions you took for your business. You don't have to do it now, but jot just like a few of those things down. Think about how you spent your working hours inside your days of last month. Were they consistent? Were they income producing? Now think if you owned a brick and mortar. Uh, and yes, I'm going there because I think it's a great analogy. But think if you owned a brick and mortar, and I want you to think if you opened your doors, you clicked on your open sign, went to the back, sat in the chair, but didn't greet people when they walked in. Um, you know, you didn't check people out. You didn't interact with people while they were shopping. You didn't ask them what they were looking for, what they needed. You didn't value why they were there. Um, you know, um, you didn't ask about their families. You didn't engage with them. Um, you didn't advertise. You didn't really do anything. You were just a body in a store hoping that people would return. But if you think about that in terms of if you were the customer and you walked in and that's the way you were greeted, or if people didn't interact with you and people didn't genuinely care about your needs and what you needed and why you were there, how long do you think the business would be open? Like, I don't think it'll be open for very long. You might have new people come into your store, but you wouldn't have a lot of return customers. You wouldn't have a lot of repeat customers. You wouldn't have a lot of people, you know, doing that. And if you don't have repeat customers and you don't have referrals and you don't have people saying, hey, go visit this store, they're amazing, um, then you're eventually going to have to close your doors because people want people, right? Um, so I heard on a podcast the other day, 80% of the work you do will produce 20% of the results that you get. So, what are you focusing your time on? Are you focusing your time on the things that produce results in your business? Because if you're focusing your time on doing things that don't really produce income, if you're not building relationships, if you're not following up with people, if you're not reaching out to people, if you're not showing up in your stories and talking about what this business means to you, what these products mean to you, if you're not asking for referrals, if you're not doing income producing activities, sending samples out, all kinds of stuff like that, but you're focusing all of your time on, gosh, I don't know, getting organized. Okay, that's a great thing to have in business, but we shouldn't be spending all of our time getting organized. Um, maybe building a website, maybe trying to get your social media perfect. Like all of the things that are important, not don't hear me wrong, these are all important things, but they're not income producing. They're not action to move the needle of your business forward. So I would encourage you to reevaluate what you're doing, what you're spending your time on, and seeing what results you're getting. Because again, 80% of the work you do will produce 20% of the results that you see. So you can't produce results without action. Taking action is vital to running a business, but so is accountability. Accountability is the obligation of an organization or an individual to accept responsibility for your actions. So, as an individual, you must be held accountable to your own actions. Did you do what you said you were going to do? Did you get done what you said you were going to get done? Who are you answering to? Who's your buddy? Who's the person that you're like, okay, I'm going to try to do X, Y, and Z this week. Hold me accountable to it. Like, I want you to ask me on Wednesday if I've done it. I want you to ask me on Friday if I've done it. Like, who is the person that you're talking to that is, helping you complete a goal? Because we won't usually complete a goal unless we have committed to it and made ourselves accountable to someone achieving it for achieving it. So that's why the accountability group was so great last month, because people took it seriously and did it because they were accountable to others. Like they were putting in the group what they were doing, where their numbers were going, all of the things. They said they were going to complete something and have people watching to see if they were going to follow through. That's accountability. We can't expect to see growth in our business if all we do is one thing a day. So I came across this really cool, you can write it down if you're taking notes, but talking about moving forward. Again, I said we don't move forward without these two things. So you can, if you write down like forward, like going down your page, like FORWARD, and then out beside it, it says plan to do it. Don't jump into it frivolously. If you've tried and failed at it once already, then you probably wouldn't be frivolous. Get back up on your feet and use the strategy to move forward. So the F stands for finalize your goal. The O stands for order your plans. And I'll go back through these. The R stands for risk failing by taking action. A lot of people won't even take the action because they're scared of failing. And that is not a good way to move forward in your business. You have to be willing to risk failure because you don't get success without failure. They go hand in hand. W, welcome mistakes. A, advance based on your character. R, reevaluate your progress continually. And D, develop new strategies to succeed. So real quick, finalize your goal, order your plans, risk failing by taking action, welcome mistakes, advance based on your character, reevaluate your progress continually, and develop new strategies to succeed. If you're willing to stay determined, work according to a plan, and keep getting up when you get knocked down, you'll be able to achieve your goals. And that doesn't mean that your goals are going to be achieved the same time frame that my goals will be achieved. It doesn't mean that Chastity's goals are going to be achieved the same time Leah's goals are going to be achieved. Like everybody's everything looks different because we all lead different lives. We all are busy with different things. But here's a question, and I know you guys have heard it before, but I also heard this on a podcast the other day, and I've just been taking little notes in my phone because I knew this call was coming up. But would you pay you if you were an employee working in your business? Like, if you were a business owner and you had employees, would you pay them like at the level that you're producing your work? Because I feel like that's a really good way to look at it. Like, did you earn your paycheck? And this is, y'all know I don't really hold a whole lot back, but y'all know my character, y'all know who I am. But why are you upset at Q for not earning your money fast enough? Is it Q's fault? Or is it your fault? Is it our fault? Because honestly, again, going back to the very beginning of this call, we have to take responsibility for what we signed up for. We signed up to own a business. We signed up to open different franchises. We signed up to do all the hard stuff that comes with owning a business, but we want to get our pennies in a wad when we don't get the paycheck fast enough, or when we don't get a repeat paycheck, or maybe we didn't quite understand the work that was going to go into it, but now we do, and now we know that it's going to take a little bit extra work. And I'm not like hitting the gravel on the table. I'm not saying like you got to go do this. I'm just saying, because we're all our own business owners, did you earn your paycheck? Because I feel like that's a really important thing to think about. Days like fall on top of us. Our schedules change all the time. I know there are some days where I can't even touch Q because like my day just explodes. But you know what? I make up for it the next day. At least I try to. And I know that if I want to see the growth that I, am here for, so I have to put in the work. Now, this weekend in Nashville, I had to reevaluate myself because there was a portion on Friday night where Sarah Spencer was like walking around with, acting like she had her phone, and she was pretending like, she's like, is this you? And she was like on her phone, and she was talking about a 50-50 person versus 100% person. And what she was saying was, are you giving 100% of your time to your work when you're in your work, and 100% of your time to your family when you're in your family? Are you doing 100% of your work, setting your phone down on the desk, walking out of the office, leaving work at work, and spending time with your family? Or are you on your phone all day long saying, hold on 1 second, hold on 1 second. Yeah, I'll get it in 1 second. Wait 1 minute. Now we're late. Now get your shoes on. Get in the car. Like that, I had to reevaluate that because that's me. Like I'm always on my phone. Like I have to focus more on those hours that we set for ourselves to work Q. And if we don't set hours for ourselves, we don't set goals for ourselves, if we don't lay out a plan, we will not succeed. We can't just fly by the seat of our pants all the time and hope for success. She made me cry that night too, Chelsea. But I truly believe we need to reevaluate why we're here. I think it's healthy to reevaluate your why every couple of months. I was told this like about every 3 months, reevaluate your why. Every 90 days, reevaluate your why, because your why changes. As you grow and develop, your why changes. As your family grows and develops, your why changes. And that's okay. But you have to have a why, because if your why is not big enough, you'll quit every single time. Every single time you'll quit. Your why has to be big enough. So why are you doing this? Take, action and take responsibility and accountability in your business and stop blaming others. I'm not saying anyone's doing that. I'm saying I didn't hit executive until I was 9 months in this business. That felt like an eternity, and I wanted to blame others, but at the same time it was no one else's fault. And it wasn't my fault either. I was working my butt off. It's just the way the cards were turned, you know? Um so again, um I think that's gonna wrap it up. I don't want to like beat a dead horse or anything, but I'm gonna turn the recording off, answer any questions, or have a chat with anybody that wants to have a chat, and we will go from there.